Have you heard about the Wade fire?
No, not familiar.
I think what we need to do is try and develop a strategy to transform the waterfront from a very underutilized industrial wasteland to more of a people's place.
After, I guess, almost 10 years of illegal chemical dumping going on down at the Wade site, it was just a toxic mix, just waiting to explode. And on that date, that's exactly what happened. Like I said, the ambulance, EMTs, they had no idea what they were dealing with, so they wore no protection, no gloves when they treated these guys. But the years later, in some cases even weeks later, the symptoms didn't go away. They just began to get worse and progressed. And a lot of the guys ended up with there's various diseases. It was just hard for them to believe that so many illnesses could come from one site.
I'm regretfully sorry, but it was always out of my control. From the day that they found the first drum, it was out of my control. There was nothing I could do about it.
You look at most of the area along the waterfront, it's all to somewhat contaminated because of the heavy industry that used to be there.
That was all brownfield. It was all industrial land that had no use and was not providing a single dime to anyone. That would cost hundreds of millions of dollars to remediate, to get rid of any of the toxics that were used back in the 50s and 60s and 30s on that land.
There will be certain areas at this site that have petroleum hydrocarbons.
There's 3 brownfield sites involved in the soccer stadium area.
The Environmental Protection Agency has monitors all throughout the Chester waterfront to monitor everything that's happening within that ground. Those monitors will never be moved, and they are constantly being watched by the Environmental Protection Agency. Secondly, there's like 5 layers of soil.
There will be at least 2 feet of clean soil material that will be placed above the surface that we have today.
Cement, concrete, everything else that you can possibly use to cap that site with then grass on top of it has been done, and that site will never be disturbed.
It's been cleaned, but it's not totally clean, so it's not like you can build anything on it. I think there's an enormous pressure to get the soccer stadium built. I am not very comfortable knowing that we could say that all the health and environmental issues will be looked at as thoroughly as something that wasn't fast-tracked.
We asked residents, what are your concerns? What are your issues? What do you see as opportunities?
And the soccer stadium has the look of being positive. I think their frustrations go back to, basic living issues. Like many of the residents have brought up the issue of that there's not even a grocery store in Chester.
There's a casino but no supermarket where people can buy food.
Gate down, gate down, gate down, gate after gate after gate, all the way down. All the way down. So what do that tell you?
Don't bring something in and push the poor out, give back.
We as a city, and certainly myself as the Director of Economic Development, have always wanted to make sure that in everything that we do, that the people of Chester are first. In order to run the general services, there was not enough revenue in order to do that. So that $10 million from Harris helps to offset that cost so that we can do roads and streets and sidewalks and everything else that police officers and fire people, all to be able to take care of the needs of the city of Chester.
Chester has the highest infant mortality rate in the state, more than double the rate for Delaware County. Chester has the highest percentage of low-weight births in the state, nearly double the percentage for Delaware County. And Chester has a mortality rate, for lung cancer mortality rate, about 60% higher than the rates for Delaware County. And we can spend $114 million on the soccer stadium, but nobody seems to be able to find the money to invest in improving the health of the residents of Chester.
Are there like places you can go to find out about this stuff around here?
I guess you could go to I want to say City Hall, but you ain't gonna find out too much there at City Hall. But then again, yeah, City Hall. Ask questions at City Hall.
But they're not gonna give you all the answers
that you want.
Everywhere you go, they try to cover up
Yeah.
the things that people's gonna fight and argue about.
The issue of the weight dump is certainly not the only issue of building a soccer stadium in Chester, but the issue of the weight dump, in combination of looking at the broader picture of the environmental justice issues, of looking at the health issues.
And I think that's part of our initiative, or part of our objective would be to educate, like I said earlier, so that something like this doesn't happen again. There are winnables in a situation like this in Chester.
And now, I think where the whole issue of the weight dump can be one a positive thing for the next 30 years is that we finally admit to this and that we take the steps to properly make sure that the residents of Chester, and then in effect all of Delaware County, benefits from improved understanding of health and environmental justice issues.
Do the ends justify the means? Think about it.